Hello, Bropslandia. Okay, this is my first video confessional for Heroes versus Villains. First thing I want to put out there is, Bropst, villain? Really? Me? If anything, I've been entirely too heroic or too nice in a lot of the games I've played in your series, and it's gotten me in trouble over and over again. How am I a villain? I mean, there was a time where my vocal tones were so, oh, geez, I'm losing words here. This is not good. More coffee. Arrogant. That's the word I was looking. See, coffee helps. We're so arrogant that I could easily have been considered a villain back in the day, but now? Really? Maybe this is anticipation for what's next in my development as a player. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. So yes, I was a little surprised by being named a villain, but I am both equally dismayed and very, very pleased to have received the character Hannibal Lecter. He is a blast to riff on. I mean, just the food jokes alone have been a ball so far. And I think that people, while they may be a little creeped out, are for the most part enjoying them. So that's good. On the other hand, nobody can look at Hannibal Lecter's face and think even for a second, this is a good guy. This is someone I can trust. This is someone who is not some sort of evil mastermind about to drive me crazy and cause me to commit suicide. It is really hard to look at that avatar and see anything but the bad guy. And I mean, just epically so. So there is some drawback there, but it's kind of subtle. It's insidious. And I don't know what to do about it, and I'm hoping it's not going to be a big issue. We shall see. But yes, I am enjoying the Hannibal Lecter character very much. All right, first night. First of all, the declaration that we can PM anybody, and that's not going to change during the game. I find that terrifying and deeply fascinating. I find it fascinating because this is going to seriously distort tribe dynamics, and especially leading into tribal councils, to the degree that basically the other tribe is going to have a lot of influence over what happens in each tribal council. Even if they're not even involved in the tribal council, they're involved with the players in the tribal council to a degree that is going to seriously distort the outcomes. I think it's really good. For one thing, it's going to go a long way, I feel, to overcoming what Bropst considers to be a major failing of a lot of players, and a failing that I've had in the past, and that is thinking too much along tribe lines and initial alliances and all of that, by forcing us to have to communicate across the lines of this thing that is completely arbitrary, completely superficial, completely artificial structure of tribes. The tribes only matter for challenges. The tribes only matter when tribes are in effect. And now they don't even matter as much now with this new setup. So this is going to be really interesting. Any player who has not yet realized that they're going to have to communicate with everyone, they're going to have to be on good terms with everyone, they're going to have to find a way to work to some degree or another with just about everyone in this game if they're going to succeed. And if they haven't figured that out yet, they're going to be in a lot of trouble in this game. You can't go into a tribal council only talking to your own tribe. You can't go into you can't be looking toward the merge as something completely new. The only thing that's new about it is it becomes an individual game in terms of the challenges and immunity, and that's it. Because the whole game is communicating with each other, it totally changes the dynamic, and I'm really looking forward to this. And I'm sure Bropst is looking forward to seeing whether or not this experiment works. I guess we'll see. Let's talk about some of the players. First of all, I am slightly talking up the hero-villain divide to a certain degree, but only to make other people look like they're not playing the game right. But only a little bit. I'm not trying to, like, beat a dead horse with it or anything like that. But I'm suggesting that maybe some of the heroes are not giving me as much of the time of day as they should be, and I'm not naming names when I do it. So what I'm hoping this does is it makes the heroes that I'm mentioning this to more wanting to work with me individually, because they think that they have a jump on their fellow heroes in capturing my loyalty. I hope that works. I don't know. It's a little bit of an obvious gambit, but I guess we'll see. All right, the players. First of all, there is a wide range of communication going on here. There are a couple people that are communicating with me really regularly, very openly. They've already broken that ice, and that's wonderful. And then we have a couple players that are so stuck in the awkwardness of trying to find where that ice is, find the weak spot, so that they can eventually break through, that even when I give them the opening, they are failing to basically jump in the cold water and drown with me. That's a horrible analogy, but you get the idea. So, I mean, the range is pretty broad in terms of how people are communicating, which I think is interesting. Let's go through them. We'll start with Clubber. Clubber has been really good talking to me. Now, he is still 100% in character, but he is talking game. He's just using the voice, but at the same time actually talking to me, which is weird, but it's working for him. So I can't really hold it against him. So Clubber, I think, is one of the people that either really wants to work with me or is really good at getting people to want to work with him. I'm suspecting the latter, but I do want to work that angle, because if he is getting in good with a lot of people, then he's going to have a lot of information. I want some of that at least flowing in my direction. Let's see. Inigo Montoya is still talking to me pretty well, but he's got this really bad habit where he doesn't reply and then leave all of the previous quotes in there. So I have to remember, or even worse, look back at what was said before I can reply to him, so I know where that conversation is going. I don't have the memory of a 20-year-old. I'm 51 years old right now, 51 and a half, for what that matters. My memory is not what it was 20, 30 years ago. So I have to check. So anyway, Inigo, he's starting to open up to me, and I like that. But I really wish that he would leave at least a couple quotes back so that there is a direct reminder of our conversation. I don't know why he's doing that. Maybe it's to mask any other identifying features of his speech style. Maybe it's just that he wants to challenge people to actually pay attention to him, which is kind of clever and insidious, and I like it. But I guess we'll see. Rocky talks to me a lot. I think he talks to a lot of people a lot. I think Rocky and Clubber were cast really, really well because they're very similar. I mean, Clubber still uses the Clubber voice, and Rocky, to a degree, still uses the Rocky voice. But they're very good at communicating with people and very good at staying in touch with people, and I like that. I kind of hope that they don't hook up with each other, but they probably have already if they've been communicating with each other the way they've been communicating with me, and I think they have. So yeah, Rocky is someone I want to keep an eye on as well. Freddie is not as active as I would like him to be, but I see some promise there. He seems to be pretty good at breaking the wall down and talking to me like a person. Sensei Kreese, really inactive. I mean, we had a brief conversation yesterday, nothing today. It wasn't very long. It was idle chit chat. I mean, he's skating on the ice. He's not trying to break through it. Jones, Indiana Jones. Dr. Jones is, again, not as active as I would like him to be, but he's better at talking to me than Kreese is by a long shot. Nothing from Captain Jack, really. I mean, there was a brief conversation and there wasn't anything there. It was empty. Let's see. Voorhees. he's talking to me pretty well, actually. I find that all of the slashers are doing at least pretty well talking to me. I like that the slashers are kind of mixed in like that. I mean, there's obviously differences, but there is a similarity in that they're breaking that wall down, and that's good. The kid, I don't know. He came on very briefly. He talked to me as the kid. He hasn't broken character yet. Yeah, I don't know. He's going to need to communicate more before I have any idea about him. Miyagi-san. Miyagi-san is locked in character. I even basically shattered that ice last night, and the first thing he does this morning is exactly the same thing. He is still Miyagi-san. He is still talking in the voice and is still not talking to me. He is just doing the platitudes, and I'm done with him. I'm not. I can't be. That it would be dumb to be. I will keep working him. Steve Martin. What the hell's his character's name? I don't know. Steve Martin. He's doing pretty well at communicating with me. I haven't heard anything from him today, and he signed off fairly early yesterday. But he's already several steps ahead of people that have been on a lot more than he has. So, yes, that is someone I want to keep an eye on. Marty McFly, also doing pretty well at breaking the ice. He needs to be on more, and he needs to work a little harder at it, I think. I'll help him along. We'll see how that goes. Luke. I am getting along very well with Luke. I mean, the most insidious, nasty villain out there, and the most naive, childlike hero out there. Well, I mean, except for the kid, but he never mind. We're getting along great. I've already he is so far the only one I've flat out said to, hey, let's watch each other's backs. I mean, obviously that's not an alliance or anything. It is sort of a first night, okay, we're getting along good. We should help each other out if we can, kind of thing. And he jumped at it, which is good. I'm hoping that relationship develops because I think it's going to be strong. He's got social acumen. He's obviously very bright, and I want to keep that up. Ghostface only just started talking to him. I really don't know. Dr. Evil, there's potential there. He is starting to break through the walls, but again, he needs to be on more often before I have an idea of where to go with him. Superman, I just started talking to because he just messaged me. He obviously is not locked in character. I mean, his first message basically threw a reference and then talked to me. So I think Supes is someone I'm going to be able to get along with pretty quickly too. And Darth Vader. Darth Vader and I have been talking pretty well. I think he's talking pretty well with a lot of people. So the four big ones that I think that are potentially my best allies and potentially my biggest threats right now are Mike Myers, Clubber, Rocky, probably Luke, and Skywalker. So 5, I guess. Those are the 5 power players as I see it right now. I think they're going to be very strong in this game, and I need to be on their team. But I need to start pulling in some of the less strong players because sooner or later, I'm going to need them. Probably sooner than later. So that's where we stand. I'm going to leave it at this because this is already long-ish. And I haven't been very funny or exciting or fun. I've just been talking game. So I guess I'll leave it at that. And that's the end of this one.